overweight, frustrated, unsuccessful, stammering, stuttering, sweating, you know, completely out of your element individual.
Aren't you kind? I'm sitting here with one of the great stars of Hollywood. One of the true insiders of Hollywood. Wonderful Steve Martin. How are you?
I'm good.
You were born Stephen Glenn Martin.
You've really done your research.
So that was after Glenn Gould, the wonderful piano player who would make all those, remember, he made all those...
No, it wasn't after him.
It wasn't after him.
It was after my father,
Your
Glenn.
father, and his name was?
Glenn.
And so therefore, Glenn Gould was just a family friend?
No, we didn't really know Glenn Gould, or we had never actually even heard of Glenn Gould.
Was Seinfeld fun? What was it like?
Shut up for a second. You know, you have a very obnoxious way of talking.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a compliment, moron. You're a moron.
Oh, I'm a moron.
Yes, you are a moron.
This is the famous Larry David anger. And are you filled with anger?
Rage, Jimmy.
Rage. What is it based on? Is it because, and please let me phrase this correctly, because you're a Jew?
No, I think you're wrong about that.
But the Jews have rage.
What's your big beef with the Nazis?
What's my big beef?
Yes, it seems like you're always
What's
knocking.
my big beef with the Nazis?
You're always knocking the Nazis. Oh, it's time for Mel Brooks to knock the Nazis, it seems.
Oh, I don't know. I think they're rude.
I guess.
It's like a talking egg. It's like a talking egg. It's Humpty Dumpty came to life.
Thank you. First of all, because I'm a big fan of that guy.
Thank you so much for having me on in season 15.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, boy.
I've never seen a shirt collar actually go up like that. I don't mean to get personal, but there's only 2 buttons of your shirt visible before the shirt goes into the pants. I mean, the distance from the top of your shirt to your belt is 3 inches.
I'll tell you why, it's Pilates. So many people are born on your birthday. Halle Berry.
Was born on August 14th? Oh, yeah.
As Governor Chris Christie said on his honeymoon night, I couldn't physically do this by myself.
Do you smell burning toast? What's the Lion King? Everyone talked about it. I never saw it. What was that about?
Let's talk about some of the leading ladies you've had. And when I say had, I mean had.
You devil.
Gina Davis.
Had her.
You made love with Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan.
She couldn't get enough of it.
Nikki Kidman.
Just unbelievable, man.
You had an affair with...
I did them all, yeah.
And I think that's why you are in Comedy Central. Can you imagine if you were in real show business, where you'd be then? Good for you, and 3 cheers for you.
You've been such a great supporter of all of us in show business.
Well, you know,
of course, are not.
Well, I think of myself as a participant of the business.
And yet it doesn't diminish your great joy for being around, for being kind of a barnacle on the hull of show business. And yet you still, it doesn't sour. There's no bitterness about you. That's what I like.
I loved all the different catchphrases you do, like, I want to say, I pity the fool, but that was Mr. T.
It's an exciting interview. When do we get to a question?
I don't get, are you doing more of your irony humor?
Yes, actually. I'm sorry.
And do you think that's what's kept you out of the big money?
Why was it called Fridays?
Well, because it was just like Saturday Night Live.
But not funny.
But not funny.
Yes.
And
You'd take your pack and I'll show you with a donut. You would take it and you would, do you understand what I'm saying? That's how you would make sure that the cigarettes would be in the right...
Keep going, this is good.
The right order when you... I was addicted to cigarettes. I used cigarettes to fill a hole in me, an emotional void. I don't know if that's something you could understand.
What kind of void was this?
It was an activity that I did to make myself feel better, to scratch a deep itch that
I was just something.
when I was sad,
When you were sad, how did you handle sadness?
I smoked. It was a behavior that I thought I didn't have control over, and
Justin, I don't mean this negatively. You're just next door to Ape, aren't you? I mean, you're a Republican.
I felt vulnerable. And while in the short term it made me feel better, in the long term I realized that whether my mother loved me or not, this wasn't going to be the answer.
Well, this has been fun. Oh, so thank you, John Glick. And please, come back and join us.
Jiminy, I'm so sorry. We're going to have to do that again. They didn't get it. Yeah,
No problem. This has been Jon Stewart. He's on Comedy Central, and he's a hero. I love you. Thank you, John.
thank you so much.
Good to see you. Oh.
Your rant.
Did I what?
Do one of your rants.
Do I rant, Jiminy?
I think you're always rant. These things are hard to open. Ooh, I can't open them. That's a new rant that you're doing. People on cell phones, they speak so long, and how come they get to do it?
And what is your wife's name?
Dixie,
How many years have you been married?
23 years of loving. And she knows that I'm someone who just needs it.
So you lie on top of her with this body.
Now, wait a second, Jerry.
There's
why
a
did-
person that will allow you to get on top of them and sweat like I imagine you're doing now
Why do I have to put up with
for
it? This
8
is
to
very-
11 minutes. At
Let's
least
talk
4
about-
times.
Now, wait a second. Let's talk about you, if you're so
All right.
wise. Are you saying that you never went through a period where you sweated too much or you were 300 pounds overweight?
If I sweat, it's from exercise or because the weather is
But
warm.
are these the wonderful little observations that you put in your show?
A blind man could make these observations.
I can tell that you are a poser, and I don't mean that negatively.
A poser.
Well, I mean, you
I'm a
got
poser.
that Brooklyn thing, right? Do you want to shoot the swans? I think I'm seeing an outtake from Funny Girl. The accent is so thick. And one night we got together and watched your special. You kept going, why do people? I can't remember anything else, but it was the phrasing was very unique. I guess if you were Indian, I bet you'd be Sioux, because you people sue each other, and so it's a full circle.
Okay, if I hear one more anti-Semitic remark from your mouth.
Oh, so now we're pretending that your people don't litigate.
Okay. I'm sick.
Any education at all? I bet not much.
No, I went to college.
What college?
Queens.
I always wonder when does the real Larry David start, and when does this Larry David stop, and when do we get to the stop part? Why does the word list have an S in it?
Yeah. There you
And from
go.
that you can get $750 million and fool the people. Fool the people. Oh, jeez.
Help me, you fat.
Oh, I'm fat.
Why? Why is it?
Get comfortable.
Why is it?
Why isn't it a fair business?
Why is it a fair business?
Well, because it shouldn't be. It doesn't
Why is
need
it?
to be.
Why is it?
It's a whoever wins
But who?
business.
Who decides who wins?
And you have not won.
Now, do you think that urinal dividers take the fun out of urinals? These walls.
You don't like the wall?
Kim Kardashian. What do you think of her? I've met her.
Have you?
Oh, yes, she's not a bright girl.
Right.
She thinks soy milk is Spanish for I am milk. Because I'm telling you.
That's why I appreciate you having me on the show, even though I know you're not a fan.
Oh, I'm not remotely a fan.
No.
You once said, and I want to read this because I hate to misquote people. You once said, hold that there, please. You once said, never for a second did I think of myself as the sexiest guy in the world. That's a wonderful quote. Is that just based on reviews?
I haven't got children. I assume you haven't got children either.
I have 4 wonderful children. Morgan, Mason, Matthew, and Modine.
Really?
4 strapping boys who love their papa.
Right.
And admire
What do they
their
think
papa.
of their papa? What do they think of it?
Well, I mean, we're always throwing a ball around and we're always playing touch something.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so much fun to be a dad.
Because anyone can just pee their pants. I did it 5 minutes ago and never felt better, never felt freer. But to do a stinky while talking to a big, austere, kind of considered actor through the years, wouldn't that be a mistake? And wouldn't I feel liberated by wearing an adult diaper? Adult diapers to be free to do a stinky.
Oh, Jiminy.
I had once an infection in my outer colon, and my doctor gave me a few rim shots, and it absolutely helped me. And I think that it can help you too, because
Rim shots?
Yeah, rim shots.
In your outer colon?
Outer colon. He gave me a few rim shots, and it helped. It was an infection. It was an infection. That's what it was. That's what it was. Now let's
Give me a minute, will you? Okay. All right, I'm fine now.
If we woke you up at 3 in the morning,
If you woke me up at 3 in the morning,
what would it sound like?
I'd have a heart attack. Because there'd be no reason for you to be in my bedroom, would there? Why would you ever be in my bedroom?
That would frighten you.
It would frighten me,
Why
yeah.
would it what frightens a Ricky Gervais?
Well, you in my bedroom
Me in my
at
bedroom.
3 in the morning, waking me up somehow. How would you wake me up?
Ricky. Ricky.
What?
It's me, Jiminy.
That would be scary. That would be like a horror movie.
And I try to wake you up with one of those eyelash things in your forehead. I wouldn't want to start
Yeah,
with. That would
it's
scare
getting
me.
worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse.
Did you see the movie The Agony and the Ecstasy about Michelangelo?
I saw Madam X with Lana Turner, and in the background there was a wonderful abstract painting that everyone pretended to care about. And I think that was a de Kooning.
My mother used to cash in milk bottles to help me go to the movies. Yeah.
That's good old-fashioned poverty.
You seem to.
You look great, by the way. Have you lost weight?
Do you know what? I'll tell you something.
Because I think you found it again. I'm just...
Baby type man.
Thank you
Big
so
plump.
much. You know what you remind me
You're
of?
more agile than I thought.
Very agile.
Carry bitterness. You carry bitterness about that. You pull that.
What do you want me to do?
You just yank the leg. Just one little...
Boy, this is really a dream come true.
You all right? You know what?
Right back there.
And I don't know if we can use this, but when your balls become bunk beds, it's...
What happens? Do your genitals stay the same? Or are they big and plump as well?
Well, this is a very interesting question.
Have you seen your genitals in the last few years? Is one question, because
No,
do you
but
have
word
mirrors?
gets back from those who have that they're there and they're proud.
Any time that you're in Los Angeles, do you ever like steam baths?
I can't look at that. I can't look at that.
No. Don't touch! Thanks. Let's talk about you and...
To just sit you in a bucket and feed you 1,000 donuts until you couldn't eat any more, and just see what happened. And
What a way to go!
yeah,
That's a wonderful little story you told.
You're a sick, tortured person. No, nobody eats like this.
Sure they
This
do.
is... No. It's not going to kill the pain. It can.
Tempting little
I
devil.
know.
Yeah.
When you do something like that, it's a mistake. But it's something you gotta do. You gotta survive. I don't like vegetables.
Now, your mother is one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's very kind. She'll be very thrilled that you said that.
Well, she is. I remember when she went into labor with you. It was at Studio 54, and I was having a White Russian with Halston, and he said, "Look at that." I mean, it all seems such a short time ago.
That's true. Liza was my wet nurse, yeah.
Yes, she was. Liza was many people's wet nurse. And when you got your little wiener caught in the zipper.
Yes.
That must have been something. Did you really do that, or was that another prop?
That was a prop.
Because it happened to me once.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It was terrible. Liza Minnelli was opening in Victor Victoria, and I raced to the theater and suddenly I zipped my little wiener in there, and I just left it out because I didn't want to be late. Because you know, and then next thing I know, Liz Smith comments on it.
Really?
Yes, she said it looked like a Shih Tzu on a little wiener, and I thought that was cool. The pets can be cruel.
I think that's their job.
Dude, you don't believe in God. What's that about?
I've got no evidence. I mean, yeah,
Listen, what do you scream out during the height of sexual passion? Oh, crackers? I mean, what do you say?
That's exactly what
You say, oh, crackers. At the height of climax.
It's a little bit like crack, though, because, you know, once you start, you can't stop.
Well, I know. Listen, I was, for a long time, I once did mescaline at Roddy McDowell's. And the next thing I knew, I was buck naked on top of a Buick, and I was driving along, and you know, I know the pitfalls of such things. So please, get off the crack, Anderson Cooper. No one wants to see you on crack.
For a while, I smoked catnip, which was very popular at the University of Wisconsin.
This has been absolutely so much fun.
This is the craziest interview I've ever done in my life.
That's why they call me multidimensional. Oh. And it is so wonderful to have you here.
I haven't really enjoyed 1 second of you talking to me.
That's part.
But I did learn a lot. I did learn a lot.
What did you learn?
I learned that you're even more moronic than I thought you were.
Thank you. Again, wonderful, wonderful, Jerry.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jiminy.
for being who you are. This is Jiminy Glick talking to my old friend, Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, we did a whole show once with you as Jiminy Glick.
That's right.
Hosting Larry King Live.
That's right.
And we did Jiminy Glick when you were in your Broadway stage and I came up on stage.
That's right.
How did you find Jiminy? Where did he come from?
You know, I was always fascinated by morons with power. You know what I mean? You flip around daytime television and there's a person with a show. They've got assistants, and that assistant's sweating because their tuna fish sandwich was late. And what kind of tuna fish is this? You know, and they have to put up with. So that was one thing. Jiminy could have been a politician. He could have run a boarding school. And then there was a guy on my street who had a voice that went very high and very low. And if you stayed off his lawn all year, he owned a movie theater, then he'd let you go to the movie theater for free. And so I just, you remember that voice.
And then you had to put that makeup
Well, then
back.
I wanted to go out in public and not be recognized. And I'd made a film called Pure Luck where I'm stung with a bee, my face goes up. And when we shot that day, I remember everyone said, boy, I cannot see your face in that makeup. So I thought, oh, then we'll do a heavy makeup.